Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the Big Bad Theory. This is the 6th episode of the 12th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. We are voting for our most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise. Links in the description. 3 votes are allowed. Top 3 will be aggregated. Your results will now be shown in the final episode. Cannot wait to see you guys choose, so please do get voting. Now, interesting, in the last episode, Raj was doing his kind of thing he does in the Griffith Observatory. Somebody asked, about Howard and maybe if he could come and do a co-show host with him or whatever's. Now, at first, Raj didn't really want to. I kind of figured it was because he didn't want to lose the spotlight, to be honest. He's enjoying it. He's there. It's his thing. And Howard coming in, being the astronaut that he is, will take the spotlight off of him. He ended up, agreeing to it, even though they was kind of bickering and disagreeing throughout the whole time. And then it ended up being just like a full-on bro moment. It was actually really good. You had Howard stood there in his astronaut suit, listing off all the credits and all the amazing things that Raj has done. Raj just stood there, obviously introducing Howard as the astronaut, detailing all the amazing things that he's done in his field and saying how proud he is of him. And both of them was just embracing and hugging. It was really, really nice to see. Honestly, it was a really good moment. We had Sheldon. Basically, he wanted to carry on with the extension of the research that they started to do, in the wedding in season 11 episode finale, before they got married. They was in the back room, wasn't there? And they was taking time to come out because they both started to work on a joint project together. And he said they'll pick it up in the future time, which was last episode. And Sheldon wanted to continue with that, but Amy was saying that she's quite busy at the minute. She can't really spare some time to go over and do this work, asymmetry or whatever it was that she was doing with Sheldon. She had to focus on the science that she's been conducting for a while now. Sheldon went to the head of the university and basically said, can she be removed off the project that she's currently doing so that they can focus on theirs? They granted it. She was fuming. She was like, I don't want somebody else to come in and pick up the research that I've been doing for years, all my life, trying to figure out, for them to come in and reap in all the rewards if it turns out to be, a success. So they started bickering and arguing, and she was managed to, finally be reinstated. However, I just enjoyed the fact that Sheldon and her are continuing on for what was made in the last season. And, Sheldon was in bed and he was having a dream, and Arthur Jeffries come in, which is nice to see again. And basically was saying to Sheldon, like, no matter what's going on in your relationship, if you start bickering or whatnot, don't go to bed angry, because that's not good. And to be honest, I do agree with him. You go to bed angry, you wake up angry. It's just not a good day, is it? You should settle the beef, give a cuddle, give a kiss, and then just obviously relax and have the next day as a new day, fresh day. So that's what he done. He said sorry, and obviously the kiss are made up. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, did you guys know this year's the 40th anniversary of Halloween?
Halloween traditions date back to the Celtic festival of Samhain.
I meant the movie Halloween.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
Well, that's not interesting at all.
Are you guys all dressing up for work?
Of course. I mean, how often do you get to wear costumes to work?
Says the man with a giant belt buckle and a dickie.
Why don't we get to dress up at work?
We used to, but a couple guys in the infectious disease lab went as zombies and it triggered a quarantine.
If you really want to dress up, we could throw a party. Friday night, Halloween party here.
Great. Can't wait.
What are you going as?
I don't want to ruin the surprise. You'll see it at work.
Is it a dog?
No.
Oh, I think I'll be fine then. Hello.
No way.
Hello.
He's not even clocked.
I see you are dressed as Doc Brown from Back to the Future. May I assume that Amy is going as his wife, Clara Clayton, from Back to the Future Part 3?
It actually looks really good.
Did you do something different to your hair?
Yes.
Looking good.
Yes. They're always well good.
Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
So close, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Dress and drag in front of your fiance?
Yeah, we have no secrets from each other. Well, except for the fact that I crocheted this myself. Hey, Sheldon.
Hello.
Oh my God, you look amazing.
I find you guilty of murder because you are killing it.
Supreme Court wouldn't determine a defendant's guilt or innocence in a criminal matter. They could only reverse or revamp a jury's conviction based on a constitutional or statutory issue.
Why are you laughing? Statement was factually correct.
We're sitting in my spot.
You don't have a spot? What is wrong with you today? Just because I used a word doesn't mean I want its etymology.
No, interesting fact, etymology.
That is literally what Sheldon does,
so
though.
annoying. Stop it.
He's dressed as you for Halloween.
Well, so you're not laughing at him. You're laughing at me.
You were laughing with you.
But I'm not laughing.
Then the first one.
They're not technically laughing at Sheldon. They're laughing at how the character looks and how good his acting is of Sheldon. Now, I kind of understand where he's coming from, because it can feel like, obviously, they're laughing directly at him, but it's situational based, you know what I mean? Like, it's the fact that he's doing a pretty good bang-on impression, to be honest, and acting the way Sheldon does in those situations. You know what I mean? Like last episode, I think it was, or the one before, where Raj was saying that his new wife-to-be's favourite food is pineapple. And Sheldon was like, interesting fact about a pineapple, and he told it, and he was like, mate, how's that helping this situation? And he's like, well, it's not, but I've been waiting for years to be able to just throw like pineapple facts in. Do you know what I mean? It literally is bang-on impression.
Hey, why aren't you in your costume?
I just didn't feel like it.
You get that I'm wearing a corset because of you, not because I'm tired of breathing?
Amy, do you think I'm always correcting other people?
I mean, just last week, Penny ended a sentence with a preposition. You didn't even mention it.
I just waited until I got home and screamed into a pillow. I never realized my friends viewed me as an object of ridicule.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
They laughed, Amy, in a derisive way.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, trick or treat.
No, sorry, you're not wearing a costume.
Failed actress who traded constant rejection for a Christmas bonus and a dental plan.
Go nuts.
Oh, why do girls' costumes have to be sexy, but guys' costumes don't?
Say that again with this helicopter on my head. Do you remember what happened at that first Halloween party that you invited me to?
When I threw up in the pumpkin?
We had our first kiss.
Oh, no, our first kiss was at your birthday. Remember, I threw you a party, you didn't make it, and I felt bad for you.
Yeah, just come in and sat on that sofa.
You're not mad at me, are you?
No, of course not. No, we just remember different things from that party. I remember falling in love, and you remember vomiting in a pumpkin.
Was it the Halloween party? I'm thinking it kind of might be now. She had that roommate, not roommate, was it her ex or something that was Musler, the one that he owed money to, and he went over and he wrote on his head, you know what I mean? But he was at that party, wasn't it? And then he ended up going back to his apartment, maybe, and she come in and give him a kiss. Was that the Halloween one? I can't remember now. I kind of thinking that it might have been now. I feel like they was all kind of dressed up, because that guy come with no shirt on, I think. But that was pretty mad. It feels like such a long time ago that happened.
So, did you see Howard's costume?
See it? I made it. Oh, come on. It was all in good fun.
I'm sure it was, but Sheldon's feelings got hurt. Maybe Howard could apologize.
Sheldon didn't apologize when he said my baby looked like Winston Churchill.
He loves Churchill. Your son should take that as a compliment. Well, this isn't about Sheldon. This is about Howard.
How many times has he made fun of Howard for being an engineer, going to MIT? His magic is Sheldon shouldn't dish it out if he can't take it. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Prime Minister of England needs her diaper changed.
You know what? I know he just had a pause there, but I think I'm on Bernadette's side. You know, if Sheldon has a problem with Howard, then Sheldon should address it with Howard, not the two spouses. And again, don't give shit out if you can't take it back. How many times have you seen it in life where somebody pecks people's head 24/7, as soon as you get one thing back to him, they cry like a little baby? Honestly, like I agree. Like, I actually don't think that he done anything wrong. He just looked like Sheldon and imitated him. He didn't do anything to make him look stupid, and he actually dressed the same as him. I don't know. I understand where people could get upset, but I kind of understand what Bernadette's saying there, and I'm kind of edging on that side.
Supreme Court Justice, and you're the U.S. Constitution.
Yep, that's what's underneath this. The Bill of Tights.
Smart, funny, gorgeous. Are we a match or what?
My work in seismic refraction measurements and...
Hey, Stuart, what are you dressed as? Did you steal those from Hallie's Let's Pretend box?
I'm gonna put them back.
I'm Maurice Doc Ewing, winner of the 1960 Vetlison Prize.
Oh, yeah, now I see it.
Gonna talk like that all night?
Jip Willikers I am.
Hey, cute. He's gonna get a spoonful of sugar later.
And I'm gonna sweep Miss Poppins' chimney.
On Halloween, this couch, does it ring any bells?
Fine, it was on Halloween.
An arranged marriage.
Yeah, I know how it sounds.
It sounds awesome. Just an Indian thing, or can I get a piece of that?
You know the woman has a choice, right?
There's always a catch.
Yo, that is good.
Who wants to see a magic trick? Oh, that's right. No one.
Ha! They're you.
Now, this is where the perfect time of seeing who's the biggest crybaby would be. Because Howard a dished out banter. That's how I see it. Dressing as Sheldon is pure banter. Now, if somebody dresses as Howard and he's a little bitch about it, then that's it. Do you know what I mean? What I was saying before when Bernadette was saying Sheldon, you know, it's his problem. I'll disagree. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he starts crying now, then it goes back to what she actually said. Don't deal it out if you can't take it. I think that is top level banter, to be honest. I would be laughing, like, loads. If I turned up to a party, right, and my mate turned up, me and my missus, like, dressed the same. You know, he put a wig on and he had long hair. Do you know what I mean? And obviously she come dressed as her. Mate, I'd be laughing my head off me. I actually think that would be top. I mean, I hope one of my friends do that. Honestly, like, it'd be so good. I can take shit like that, me. I love it. I think it's great. I love bantering somebody in and getting it back. I just feel like it just brings friends closer together. I said it all the time anyway. Like, friendly picking is the best way, I personally think. It brings you together. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you go out on a night out and you're drinking with your mates, you tell me that you don't always rib on them and, like, bully them and pick them and all that. You, mate, you're doing it for a place of love, and they know it as well, and they fire back. And I just think it brings you closer together. It's kind of like them two last episode. You know, they was at the Griffith Observatory or whatever's. At first, he was like, there's a bit of friction. Then he started coming in, and then they was both saying great stuff about each other, and it brought them closer. I kind of feel like situations like this, you know, you dress as me, I dress as you, kind of pick on each other, and then at the end, you're both laughing and having a great time. That's how I think you should be going anyway.
What do you think you're doing?
I thought it was clear. I'm being unnecessarily hurtful, but with a sweet voice.
Now, I don't understand what's going on because I went to MIT.
Hold on, I'm the judge here, and I'm going to allow it.
You know what, guys? You got us. Congratulations. Now, why don't you go back to your apartment and put on your other costume?
What's wrong with my body?
Well, for starters, you have a quarter in your nose.
I don't get invited to a lot of parties. Is this a good one?
Oh,
Yeah.
That guacamole tastes weird to you. Oh, come on. You thought it was funny when I dressed up as Sheldon.
That was totally different.
How?
It's not.
That didn't hurt my feelings.
For what it's worth, I didn't think it was a very good impression of you. In fact, I find your voice quite melodious.
You don't think I'm unnecessarily hurtful?
She is.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question. I just heard the music.
I'm glad Howard didn't get upset. He actually backed it.
People came, they ate, they vowed to never speak to each other again. I think it was a successful party. It was Halloween. I was dressed as a cat, you were a hobbit, and it was right there on that couch. I wanted our first kiss to mean something. That's why I said it was the one on your birthday.
We'll make that our official first kiss.
I like the first one because he could have gone further. And he didn't.
I was in the bathroom. Guacamole didn't agree with me. Mind if I crashed here tonight?
You are always welcome here.
Thank you.
I was going to say, like, when they had their first kiss, yeah, she was actually drunk, and I actually think it is a good moment because, like, he could have progressed further, but, like, he didn't. He actually stepped back, did he not? And he was saying, this isn't how I envisaged it to first go. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how much he wanted to be with her and he kind of fell for her, like, she come in and she kissed him and he was drunk and he was like, it's not the right time. And that's what I was like, respect to Leonard. Do you know what I mean? Like, he got a lot of respect from me anyway, and it's shown how much he actually cared for Penny in like a weird way. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could have been kissing her, but he decided not to. So I actually think it was a good moment in that episode. It's shown his true colours, which shown he was a great guy.
I think Howard hurting my feelings has in some ways made me a better person. You were eating that Danish. I wanted to point out that the Danish isn't Danish at all. It was imported by Austrian bakers during a labor dispute in the 1800s.
Guys, I need your help. Bernadette's still pretty upset about your costumes.
She's upset. Those pants I wore to make fun of you were so tight I risked a testicular hernia.
Oh, we'd be happy to apologize to her as soon as she apologizes to me for not making you apologize to Sheldon. Don't you think it's unreasonable for her to ask us to do something she refused to do?
Yes, so when can you stop by? Okay, how about this? You know in Star Wars when R2 and Chewbacca were playing holo chess?
Really? Star Wars?
Amy, let the man speak. Are you saying we should let the Wookiee win?
Hey, that's my wife you're talking about. But yes, let the Wookiee win.
Did you just walk into my house?
No, Howard let me in. He got in his car and drove away. Watermelon for anybody?
It's for Hallie.
She gonna eat all of it? God, no wonder she looks like Churchill. Howard said your feelings were hurt.
Well, Howard's wrong. I don't care if someone makes fun of me.
Apparently I came all this way for nothing. Unless Hallie wants to share that watermelon. I feel like my chance at watermelon is dangling by a thread.
It's hard to be taken seriously when you're always the smallest person in the room.
Though my physical stature was small, my intellectual stature towered over them. That only seemed to make things worse. Well, people used to call me Egghead.
One time, my brothers made me breathe helium. I tried to call for help, but the only one who could hear me was the dog.
Maybe you and I are more alike than we thought. Although I'm exceptionally tall and you're exceptionally...
Sheldon!
But you didn't let me finish. Short.
Sheldon, you sure you're ready for this? This movie's pretty scary.
Please, I'm an adult. I think I can handle it.
He definitely can't watch Halloween.
What do you guys think you're doing?
We're showing Sheldon Halloween.
Absolutely not. Sheldon, come home.
Oh, man, sorry, guys.
That's a coup that they've done.
What took you so long?
I'm sorry, I just got your text.
I knew it. Right. In the context of Bernadette, I've got what's it? Oh, it's the world's tiniest violin. Oh, I'm sorry you're upset. Get it binned off, mate. Honestly, like she is on the definition of what we were saying before. A person that can deal it out but can't take it. It was her words as well. I didn't even implement that into the program. She done it. She was like, look, mate, you know, if you can't rib somebody, then don't dish it out yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you can't take it. And that is her. Now, everything's contextual, right? And the stuff that she was saying with Sheldon there in the kitchen was obviously not nice. So, like, when she was saying she was younger and she was brought up and she was getting picked on because of her squeaky voice and because of her height and, you know, all these different things, and Sheldon saying, you know, he had eggs on his head and everyone was calling him again and stuff like that. That's contextual, you know what I mean? In those scenarios, I have sympathy for you. Like, I'm actually sorry for you that you experienced that and it should never happen. But in the context of, you know, being double standards and hypocritical, yeah, your husband's dressed as Sheldon and you're saying that's totally fine, but then when somebody dresses as you get upset and start crying about it. You know, like, that's where the tiny violin comes out. I have no literally sympathy for it at all. Now, if you was fuming that Howard done that and then you stayed true to that and then was fuming when Amy done it, then that's fine. You know, you're not being a hypocrite. You're actually staying true to what you're saying. But why is it okay for one person to do one thing, but then when it involves you, it's not okay? You know what I mean? So I have no sympathy for her. And to be honest, it is true. She is mean. She calls people all the time. She's always kind of bickering. She's always the first person that's kind of like antagonizing, so to speak. And like, I would have thought that she would be able to take it. But she can't. That's actually surprising because Howard took it. Howard dressed as Sheldon, had a bit of banter. I thought it was funny. Everyone else thought it was funny. Coming to the party, he was dressed as, literally, what is it? It's not Mary Poppins. I can't remember, like, the name now. I'm blanking on it, who he's supposed to be. But he was dressed as that. Sheldon's come in dressed as him. He's kind of like, looked at it, it's like, yeah, whatever. And then on the drive home, he's not upset. He's not crying about it. It's her again. You know what I mean? So, like, in the whole scheme of things, like, I actually don't think any of them, if I'm being consistent with all of it, none of them was dressed bad. None of them said anything offensive, in my opinion. And I am not on Bernadette's side in the context of dressing up because she wanted them to do one thing and her to do another. Do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't want Howard to do an apology to Sheldon, but she wanted Amy to do an apology to her. Doesn't make sense. So, in that aspect, I actually don't think that she's correct, but I do think the statement of if you can't take it, don't deal it out is factual. You know what I mean? But I also feel like banter between friends, like I personally seen that as, was actually really good, and both of the impressions was I thought both the impressions was good, to be honest. I actually enjoyed it. Okay, that's gonna wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've not yet voted for your most liked characters throughout the whole franchise, then please do. Links in the description. 3 votes are allowed. Your votes and mine will be shown in the final episode, and yes, I will be telling you in every episode, so in the start and the outro. So if I get to the end and I don't see your votes, what have you been doing? I've been telling you in every episode, 24 of them, 48 times by the time this show finishes. So get doing it. Now, interestingly, in today's episode, obviously it was a bit of back and forth between everybody here. Who's right, who's wrong? Should they apologise? Should they not? You know my stance on it. No, you don't apologise for it unless you thought your husband's was offensive the first time, so then obviously when it happened to you, you've been consistent with it. I personally think it was just friends having a good time. Howard's impression was really good. Sheldon's impression was really good. You know, he looks different with his hair. Howard looked different without his full-on dome being covered. You know, his big forehead was out and he looked strange, and Sheldon looked strange because his forehead's usually out and his head was covered, and it was mad. And obviously Amy dressed as Bernadette, and Bernadette didn't dress as Amy, but again, you know, I don't see the drama in it, to be honest. It was totally fine, and obviously she was upset. It's good that Sheldon went round and kind of apologised, though. You know, he was not the bigger person, but he was just like, look, someone's upset, I'll just go and do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Squash the beef or whatever it is, and we could just move past it. Because at the end of the day, sometimes, you know, even if you think you're right, it's like I say all the time, you know, it's like your mum saying, go say sorry to that kid in the park, you know, you just hurt the feelings, and you don't You know, you don't actually mean it, but you just say sorry because it just ends it. You know what I mean? You move past it. It's something so minor that you could just say whatever. You know, if it upset you, I'm sorry. Let's just move past it and get on with it. And that's what they done. Now, in the context of Leonard and Penny and their first kiss, it's interesting. You know what I mean? She's seen it as one time, he's seen it as another. Factually, it is correct. It was on the sofa and it was after a party and she was dressed as a cat. And I think Kurt, is that was his name, was dressed as like a caveman or whatever. He had his shirt off, and Leonard, was it when he picked on Leonard? Did he pick him up or something like that or whatnot? And he went home and he sat in his apartment, and obviously she'd come in and she gave him a kiss, and he had the chance to potentially get further, you know, past the kiss and go somewhere else. And, you know, he ended up pausing it and was like, no, this is not the right time. Although this is what I want, I can't be doing it. It's situational based is not correct. And I was saying that, obviously he doesn't or she doesn't want to remember that as their first kiss because it's not exactly amazing. But like I was saying, that's where she would have realised that Lennon was a great guy, and like he's not there to take advantage of her. He's not there to use her for certain things, you know what I mean? He actually factually cares for her, and he wants that moment to be as perfect as possible. And that's where he would have been shod in a good light if I was her anyway. And my obviously feelings and respect and thoughts about him would have increased. So I mean, I think it's a good thing, but I understand where they're saying that might not be a good memory to kind of have for her side. But you know, they're made up now. They both look pretty good, to be honest. His Inspector Gadgets look good. She was dressed like Oktoberfest kind of thing, you know, like got it's like German clothes. That's what you see in Oktoberfest anyway. You know, if you ever been there, they kind of dress like that. I thought the outfits for everyone was decent in today's episode, apart from Stuart's, who just had Harley's wings on. But if you did enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.